What's up? Welcome to the Virzi Triplets show. This week, very funny comedian, one of our favorites, Michael Turner in the house.
What is good, boys? I'm getting tripped up in here. How we feeling?
Turner the Burner. We were just saying the old Falcons running back as Chargers.
He was honestly a good namesake. Also, I think he. I think I drafted Matt Forte over him, and he ended up winning a fantasy championship for somebody else for me. Remember that? He had like a 2 year.
I mean, that was a tough.
Dude, it was Forte though had a nice little run there too. People forget about him.
Him and Tim Hightower on the Cardinals.
Oh yeah,
throwback. There's a couple obscure ones that just had monster years. Like Doug Martin had a couple of monster years and then just disappeared.
Who could forget?
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis won people.
The ultimate one-year wonder.
Completely changed people's fantasy perspective. But yeah, Michael Turner was a good name. And then also, if you Google my name, I'm a representative in Ohio on the Republican Party.
Wow,
yeah, I think District 3.
Okay.
I think he's actually making waves now.
You're from Ohio, so it's not horribly crazy far off.
I always say, with a name like that, I could run for office.
It's a very classic American name.
Yeah, I got symmetrical facial features, Michael Turner, and check the skin tone. It's a winner.
Yeah.
Undefeated, actually, on a crazy winning streak.
Yeah, wow. You're from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And we've seen some of the stuff. We're big sports fans, so it's like seeing some of the stuff you've gotten to do with, like, you just went to the PGA shit you went to the Waste Management Open?
Yeah, Waste Management, which is like
that was sick.
The rowdiest PGA tournament. And yeah, you guys, I've met you guys in Phoenix a couple of times, but have you ever been to that?
No. Not the Waste Management tournament.
On my list.
You guys would enjoy it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt. The Waste Management tournament is pretty much just Happy Gilmore's wet dream come true.
It is.
That's
really
literally what it is. Yeah.
It's a shit show, but it also is impressive. Like, you can go, literally, I've gone a bunch of times just having lived in Phoenix for a number of years, and you can spend an entire day at a golf tournament and not watch a single swing of golf. Like, isn't that crazy? It's actually kind of weird, but you can just get after it. Yeah. And it's fun. And I get to go to the Pro-Am, though. So what you're talking about is the Wednesday before the actual weekend of golf, and it's all these celebrities. And I've been doing it for maybe 6 years, and it's gotten bigger and bigger. And then last year was the Super Bowl along with it.
Yep.
And so those are the biggest names I got last year. But this year was
I was going to say, I saw you interview Nick Saban. I was like, that is fucking sick.
So you guys are sports guys. So, like, think about it. I sometimes in the moment I don't like get caught up with it because I would just be in my head. First of all, the most intimidating. You saw the clip too. It went kind of viral a little bit. Yeah. Alabama fans on Twitter went crazy with it. But I asked him, I was like, if you had a couple more years to prove yourself at Alabama, you'd have more job opportunities. And luckily he laughed. And it was after the moment where I realized, I was like, that was probably the most prominent person I've ever talked to. That's like legendary shit.
Goat college football coach? Yeah, I mean, that's
arguably the greatest football coach, period. But Belichick's probably got that. But I don't know. You could argue what Saban had to do. It's like I don't know if you want to get into a sports argument, but there's some Saban stuff where you're like, he could be the greatest, period.
That's true.
Because of the way that college football changed during his time, and he still continued to win.
I think him in Miami is going to be the only,
Oh, the downfall would be the NFL experience.
That's going to be the asterisk on his. But he did well as a coordinator. Like, him and Belichick were on a team together. I can't remember which team it was. They were on the Browns.
Browns, yeah. He was like a
which, boy, they really fucked that up.
Yo, bro, the Browns could have been somebody. Browns really could have been. I actually just watched that Belichick Parcells documentary recently, and I was like, damn, the Browns really fucked that up.
They fucked it up so hard. And then Belichick went to the Jets for one day, and then he's like, no, I'm not sharing head coaching. It was like a shared head coaching job, I think.
It was something weird.
Yeah.
It was a very odd thing, yeah.
But you also interviewed Emmitt Smith, which is like pretty legendary as well. So.
Yeah. That's also true. Emmitt Smith, one of the, depending on your perspective, the best running back of all time. I'm a Barry Sanders guy.
I'm a Barry Sanders
one of the best.
But he's one of the best.
A sweetness guy.
Are you?
He read the book. He's more.
I like the book. Yeah,
Walter's
a beast.
Yeah, once you get the personal story, you can go with Walter. As a dude that is just looking at grainy footage from the 80s, I'm like, Barry Sanders is better than this.
Well, Walter was he's just a fucking interesting guy.
Yeah.
He like Jerry Rice had like legendary workouts. Like, Walter also just embraced, like, the shitty end of it, where he's like, they said that Walter would take out the cushions in his cleats
And he would feel the spikes driving into his, and
I
because the
respect that.
pain,
Yeah.
the pain made him work harder, I guess. Like he's just a nut job.
Built different.
But it
The
was
70s and 80s were just different.
yeah.
And apparently,
I needed to wear gloves on my hands so I didn't get caught in a fucking helmet. That guy's shoving spikes in his feet.
It is crazy. The softness of it. First of all, still a hardcore sport. But
Oh, for
like
sure.
the things they did back in the day, it's just like I'm a Bengals fan. Anthony Munoz. If you look at his hand,
Yes.
like he's one of the greatest offensive tackles of all time. It's just mangled.
Yeah.
his
all
hands are just
7 different
it's
directions. his
kind of
fingers are
uncomfortable to look at. Yeah, his pinky.
Oh, yeah.
His pinky literally is like I think a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even joking.
There's a video of Strahan. I remember seeing it. It was on. He just went on like one of the morning shows, and he just showed how his fingers bend
Yeah.
completely different ways because he always would bat balls down, and
Oh, they would just
a quarterback
go.
just throwing a spiral at you.
Yeah.
At your fingers at like 50 miles an hour. It
Crazy.
just messes your fingers up. So
But Emmitt Smith was cool, and he was cool. And my earliest, so my father actually lived in Dallas for a number of years, and then my grandfather was in Dallas when I was a kid. So we used to go like I was like 7, 8, 9 years old during those Cowboys prime years, and I was always down there visiting my grandfather. So that was like a memory. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
yeah.
And then the other one that was cool was Larry Fitzgerald. That
That's
you
how
don't
Fitz, yeah.
you don't think I actually interviewed him a number of times, so he kind of knows my face well enough. So it's a weird thing to be at that point where I'm like, it's just Larry.
Yeah.
But Larry's GOAT status too. You just mentioned Jerry
he's a
Rice.
freak of
Like
nature.
Jerry Rice had Montana and Steve Young almost his entire career. Name like more than 3 quarterbacks. Larry Fitzgerald. Like he had Carson,
John
Kurt.
Skelton,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the fall off after Kurt and Carson is like
Kyler. His first like
For one
oh
season.
for one.
his first like 6 years, it was I can't name anybody on that team.
And he is.
Emmitt
I think
Smith,
he's
one of
like he will go down as probably one of the most underappreciated
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
football players ever because I think he's probably you could argue he's the second greatest wide receiver of all time, but people always put Moss, T.O. over him. But Larry's the man,
I'm a big Plexico Burris guy.
and that's fair. Good, yeah, hey, good bang for the buck.
Yeah, Flexi.
Pun intended. Shot himself.
Who's the coolest celebrity you've interviewed?
I think, man, cool as hell. I liked the, I actually, it's fucked up to say because now people think whatever they think. I remember getting Aaron Rodgers to laugh and the way that we had a back and forth, I was like, that dude's cool.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because now you see him sometimes, whatever your perspective is on what he says, sometimes it's out of pocket, even if you agree with what he's saying.
Yeah.
But you know what I liked about him being a comedian? He appreciated the humor immediately.
Yeah.
I cracked his joke early, and our back and forth was really cool. And then Michael Phelps is also pretty cool too.
That's another goat.
Those
Damn,
are
you
two
get
two bros right there. You're getting all the goats.
Yeah, and dudes that I think the perspective I have on it too is the fact that I cracked past this wall that I know that both of them are tough to kind of talk to sometimes. Rogers specifically, and then Michael Phelps is not a dude that likes interviews a lot. And to get past that level with them, and they were fucking with me, was dope.
That's
Oh,
That's
Well,
something you
amazing.
remember, you know.
Well, it's also like I feel like they get the same shitty questions and like whatever. So it's like for you to just go in there and just like roast Saban is hilarious. And he's probably like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to like, go to my stock answers in my head and just like read off a teleprompter.
You know what's funny is that he did though. So I tried to crack that joke, and he went with the stock like, I love Alabama. I would never. I was like trying to fuck with him. I was trying to get him to go to Arizona State, and he was like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
And then that turned into news. That was the weird thing is so like I shared it on Twitter. I was like, this could maybe go viral. The hashtag Roll Tide.
Yeah.
And then the Alabama people were like, yo. He said if he ever came back, he would stay at Alabama forever.
Yes.
And they like literally took it and made an article about it on Rivals, like 24/7 Rivals.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I was just fucking trying to get this dude to laugh, and they're like, dude, this is newsworthy.
I did a shitty video. We did a dumb video recently where I don't know if you've seen those videos where it was like it's like sometimes you'll see girls on a Hinge date and they'll like secretly record their date doing something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I did one.
I hate those.
So-
well, I like when you make fun of them, but I hate
Yeah.
that actually is even a thing in our
Yeah,
society.
we did it as a parody.
I did it as a parody
right.
where I was showing them my
He's like,
You don't need to pull it up.
He's like, don't pull it up. Don't pull it up.
well, I was showing them as a parody. I was showing them my high school highlights from football.
Yes.
And Rivals like commented on it, and like some other places like picked it up, and I'm like, oh, this is just fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Well, Rivals is like they're homies. They're all about the content.
Yes, that's what I realized about Rivals.
Overtime reposted it. It got like 1 million on theirs.
Really?
Oh yeah.
No,
Did they tag you?
Yes.
but they
The
You guys know how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing is all the pros. Where it's like, this girl's not worthy. This guy did this in the playoffs clutch. Like, the pros just rallied behind him. And that's why it went off. All the dudes were like, this girl doesn't deserve him. They just, like, totally fucking combined at it. They're like, was this Christian McCaffrey?
It's like if it was regular season stuff, okay, but that was in the semis, bitch.
And to my credit, it was the best play I've ever had. And unfortunately, it didn't count.
Oh, so it was an actual play that you did?
It was a good run, but it was my actual highlight footage.
He had to pull it up on he had a hard DVD, and we had to play it on an Xbox 360 because we didn't have a DVD player.
And of course, the internet saw that we had an Xbox 360.
And they clowned you for
They
that.
also trolled me for that.
I don't even know if I have any DVDs anymore.
That's what I'm saying. We were like trying to find it. We're like,
Jeff, can you
we
reach
don't even
it
have
real quick?
anything to play it on.
That's so funny.
We just had that Xbox in our
Oh, dude, you know what? I think I did see this. Oh, dude, is that Allstott? That's good. That's good body control.
Also, I don't know if anybody else can see it. The guard is running right alongside him. That's how fast Mitchell is.
Same speed.
I was more of a quick runner. Not really.
The guard is running along.
That is Allstott. How you doing on the?
This is my
stocks?
Nancy Pelosi just bought this stock, so I might buy it because she's the best investor of all time. So
She is the goat
Is she?
investor.
Was that Palo Alto?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
That's really impressive.
Oh,
I don't know how
her
she does
return
it.
is-
I don't know either. Honestly, she's
Also-
got a thumb on the pulse.
Nice Mike Allstott reference. I have a Mike Allstott jersey.
Really?
One of the few. That was my favorite player growing up. He was an absolute machine.
Do you, if I ever am on like TikTok or Instagram reels and there's an Allstott, like one of those
have to
reels,
watch
you're
it.
just like, dude, I'm getting all this.
It's
And
like-
you've seen it I've seen it 20 times now. I'm like, let's go.
It's like Tyson highlights where you're just like, all right, no matter what, you just have to watch all these crazy knockouts.
Do you? Who's your favorite like highlight reel? Ooh. That's I have an answer.
Which sport?
So any, I think any, because you said Tyson is great.
Tyson has a
up
great
there.
knockout reel.
I have one that I just love.
I went down to Ray Lewis
Ray is a great
Okay.
highlights reel recently, and that was great.
Did you get the 2 kills in there?
I did not. No, that would have been
Bang,
perfect.
bang.
Hey, there he is. No, he stabbed him.
Yeah.
In the interest of full disclosure,
Gotcha.
those people were stabbed.
But Barry Sanders and also Mike Allstott, very good ones. as well.
Sanders is definitely up there for sure.
I think I relate more to the running back one because I played running back in high school. Then I'm like,
That's
okay,
fair. Bring it
that
up.
could have been
Bring
me.
it up again.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
previously mentioned. Peyton Hill has had a really good highlight reel for
Did he?
his year, for 1 year,
years,
2.5. Yeah.
Where'd he go to college? What is he? Wasn't he like a
Arkansas.
Kansas State guy?
Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas. You're right.
Razorback.
And
That's right.
actually, one that just came up yesterday was Brandon Jacobs from the Giants.
Really?
He had, dude, he would truck
So those are the
DBs.
type of like truck ones. The Sanders one is nice because the elusive
Shifty.
stuff,
Yes.
shifty. That stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
Who was your?
I love, dude. I think it's like 100 best dunks by Vince Carter.
yes.
The Vince Carter.
Yes.
It's like 10 minutes on YouTube and it just rips. And you're like,
Vinsanity.
dude, there's some old ones from like UNC where the quality of the videos is bad, but dude, you're just like. The crazy thing is, like, they do 100 to 1, and you're at like 92, and you're like, dude, it gets better than this. He just put his elbow on the rim.
I mean, he dunked over a 7-footer
was-
in the Olympics.
Yeah, I think that's like, I
Which
think that's
is-
got to be one.
It's the greatest dunk of all time.
100%.
He jammed over a 7-footer in front of the entire world. Like, it's not getting better than that.
It's crazy too that like I think even the last like good highlight from this thing is still like 10 years before he retired. Because he played another like 10. He was I'm a Suns fan. He was a Sun for a couple years, like
22 seasons.
kind of scrapping.
He was,
from
he
playing.
played till he was like 41 or 42.
Yeah.
He played 22
a while.
seasons.
Amazing, dude. Vince Carter though.
Kobe
That's a
and
good-
Shaq highlights are also insane.
Shaq highlights are almost unbelievable.
Yes.
Because it is crazy. Because you look at like Wembanyama, what his
Yeah.
name is,
Wemby.
Wemby, and like Giannis and stuff. And you're like, it's cool to see them in present time, but like, then you go back to those Shaq highlights, you're like, these are crazier than anything they're doing. Still, there's really nobody that's gotten to that Shaq level.
No.
Because the Magic highlights that he does, you're like, dude, was he crossing people up and like doing the okey doke and passing and shit. Like
he was just as agile as like a Giannis. It seems like he was just as agile as a Giannis, but he was just a
Giannis,
thick,
you boomer.
whatever.
Giannis. You sound like an actual Milwaukee fan. Actually, they probably call him, I like this Giannis guy. Actually, Wisconsin's more Youpers, but my bad. You guys know, country folk.
I will say the best dunk, the most disrespectful dunk of all time, is Sean Kemp on the Sonics, where he just shoves the guy down and then just like points at him.
Yeah, when he's like on the ground, that's right. That was good.
That one is good, but Scotty on Patrick Ewing is very
Also
disrespectful.
Wasn't that Michael on Patrick Ewing?
No, well,
Scotty.
they both had one. Mike had one where he went
Scotty one is
baseline,
disrespectful. Actually,
and then
you're
Scotty
right.
went one, just jammed in his face, knocked him on the ground.
That's true.
Talked shit over him, told Spike Lee to shut the fuck up.
That is true.
It was
a lot of levels in on that one. Actually, that might be the full course meal. Everybody got it on
flipped
that
off
one.
the fucking audience or the crowd.
And actually, Scotty still reminds Michael that dunk was better than his. Sure.
Probably.
And now his son, Michael's son is married.
No, they broke up.
Did they?
That was like the reason.
What?
They said that they couldn't get past the family drama.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because now
also,
the Jordan's just another W because he can always just be like, I fucked your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son fucked your wife.
Yeah.
And I gave you 6 championships.
I mean, why would I don't know why his son would want to marry a 50-year-old.
Heard she's a freak, dude.
I'm sure she is.
There's an interview. I think the only clip I've ever seen of her is she was like, I have to fuck like 7 times a day.
That's too much.
And it's like, dude, I would break up. I would be like, I got shit going on.
Yeah, every 7's too much.
Every guy says they want a girl. Every guy says they want a girl with a high sex drive until they get one.
My girlfriend now is younger, and she's got a high, like, definitely. I'm 37. Your boy can take naps.
Yeah,
and it's a nice balance though because it keeps me on my toes a little bit. But to your point, I'm like, I can't do.
No,
she's like asking for sometimes round 2 is laughable. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean?
If I get to round 2, it's a miracle.
Pass the melatonin.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing?
I would rather
give me
have
some
like,
Pepto and some Mellow and get out of my face.
Give me a recess. I can go around, give me a recess for a couple hours, and then I can come back later. But if you want it immediately in the same
couple
session,
hours, it's like really, another day.
Yeah,
Alex needs some orange slices in between.
Yeah,
I am impressed sometimes with myself, but yeah, it's honestly sometimes you're like, ooh, I think I got one in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing. But the high sex drive is
like if for me, like if I can, like if I'm still hard afterwards, it's like. The lights are on, but no one's home. Like you're gonna get maybe about 5 more minutes of this.
Yeah,
and that's
it's gonna be a quick fall off.
Yeah, it's gonna deflate.
It's gonna go bad real quick, like a bad season of True Detective.
I'm usually good for one, and then I'm surprised if I can that second time, like right after, if I can do it again. I'm like, look at me.
Yeah,
look who's a big boy, and then even they're surprised sometimes too.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm actually out on this.
Yeah, they're like,
just based on you calling yourself a big boy.
Yeah,
my pussy just dried up.
Jeff, are you? Can you go multiple rounds? Or are you just a big oafy? This our resident skeleton in the house. Jeff Sinizak, everybody.
No, I'm a one.
One and done.
Day.
One
How old is Jeff?
One's good.
You're
I'm 39.
Oh yeah, you're one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get a deuce in every now and then, but one is
a shit or like a second round.
If I can sneak a deuce in before, I'll hit you with a deuce sometime.
I don't even think I could in my 20s. I was never like that.
I had some things going on in my 20s. I had some belief in myself.
There you go.
No, I was actually fine like early mid 20s. It's just now I got low T. No, I don't know. I probably do.
Have you thought about doing like? We all do. It naturally goes up.
Probably do.
Yeah. We have a couple buddies that have are on TRT, and I have never been more excited to do something when the time comes to get on TRT.
Really?
They just say it's awesome. Your energy levels are insane.
Our one friend is juiced on testosterone, HGH. Like he's like anything they'll give me, I'll take.
Really?
He like microdoses.
You're homies with Barry Bonds?
Yeah, right. He's on peptides. They just give him a whole concoction of shit, and he just everything. He's like, I feel great. I have no injuries anymore. He's 52.
It's amazing what money will buy you when you're rich.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds expensive. Yeah,
it's
we're all
expensive.
Struggling comedians.
Yeah. He said they'll cut a little part of his ass cheek, and then they I think they're pills or something. They like slide in like slow release capsules.
You can't just take pills.
No.
Like, why do I have to shove stuff in my butt?
No. It's not up his butt. They put like a little.
Oh, okay. It's in your butt.
It's
That's
not
fine.
enema, but it's actually in your butt.
So it's in like your glute.
It's a form of
I'm
TRT.
aware.
It's a form of TRT where they, instead of injecting it with a needle, they just make a little incision, they put the capsules in, and then they slow release over time.
Over 4 months.
And then once you do the 4 months, you just do it all over again. They'll
So
put
they put it in your butt cheek.
Like
literally
That somehow sounds gayer than getting fucking
Yeah, because they have to make a hole to put it
they
in.
put a hole and capsules in your butt cheek.
They just slice the little
It's like,
incision.
just fuck me in the ass.
Now he did say that his balls shrink. So
That's real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, when I went off it, you could see them get back. They got larger again.
It's because you're not using them.
He said,
Your
they
balls?
You need to use them for your balls to get big?
you don't need, they don't need to build up testosterone because the synthetic testosterone is taken over. So they'll shrink, and then once we got off it, then they would start producing testosterone again. So then they would
They go on like a little vacation.
Big balls are overrated anyway.
right?
I can't, I've been fine with. I don't have the biggest balls. They're,
No, I got
you know what I'm saying?
Mine are not great.
And when they go away, you're like, dude, where'd you go? They're tucked in there. But yeah,
They
like,
do hide.
I don't have the hangers. I don't have.
I don't want them either.
No.
I don't
So,
think any girl has ever been like,
these
wow,
things were just.
I need giant balls.
I want them to hang so low I could put over my eyeballs and just go to sleep. No, I don't have that. I'm sorry.
One of our buddies says he has giant balls.
Sure.
Like almost like pool ball size.
Sounds concerning.
And he says it's awful.
yeah.
Because just
Sounds
you'd be
terrible.
Sounds
getting
horrible, yeah.
black eyes out at that point.
Right. You got to
Whatever
pay
you-
extra for carry-on the flights.
Yeah, you know those Newfoundlands that have the big barrel on there? On their-
Newfoundlands.
Newfoundlands, excuse me.
Wait, the dogs?
Bernard.
Dogs,
Saint Bernards.
Oh, the St. Bernards. I got the fucking-
Talking about
that's how he-
canines?
Yeah. It's pretty much that. But he's also a homosexual gentleman, so there's a lot of
I wonder if guys,
a lot of guys
that.
like him.
Really?
Yes.
They prefer big ball boys.
I think they just they appreciate them more because they also have balls and they.
I feel like gay guys are way more with the novelty stuff in sex than
Also that.
girls are.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like gay guys are like, all right, cool, I've had a giant schlong. Oh, these are giant, but like, I feel like they
Yeah.
appreciate more of the novelty end of
The novelty
sex.
dicks.
Well,
Yes.
that's also just dudes. Dudes appreciate it. Like, oh, dude, I just hooked up with a redhead. Yeah, like, oh, guys have more of a bucket list than girls, I feel like, when it comes to that
Gay
stuff.
guys talk about dicks like we talk about colors of hair on women. Dude, I just fucked this huge ball boy last night.
No way.
Yeah, he had a hook in his dick too. It was a double whammy.
At the elbow?
Yeah,
elbow in
it's
his
like,
dick?
it's like when you get an Asian redhead. It doesn't exist.
It looked like Anthony Munoz's hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that though, because he also will show us who he's hooked up with, and it's like, I mean, he's a big fat dude, and like he's hooking up with gay tens. They're just also
that's like
they're more
they
accepting.
love
Bears.
yeah.
Huh. So he's crushing in the
Gay
gay.
culture.
Yeah.
Really nice to be in LA and figure it out a little bit more. I was
Yeah.
in Phoenix for years, and this was very closeted conversations.
Although
about-
now it seems like, I mean, the last couple of times we've been there, it seems like it's gotten more purple haired.
in Phoenix,
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's because the youth is gay.
Yeah.
Yes, all those kids. Like now, it's just 20 to 25-year-olds running around mill, but all these kids are gay.
Yeah.
I think they all just fuck whatever. Like, they're just very free flowing.
3 holes in a heartbeat.
There you go.
That's all you need,
Absolutely.
and good for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I'm jealous. That's what I was said. Like, I'm 37 from Ohio. Like, when the fuck was I going to be gay? I didn't even have the chance to be gay. You know what I mean? Like, these kids can at least be gay.
Yeah. If they want it.
Yeah. And then in Ohio growing up, like, these dudes that I know, they were closeted, repressed homosexuals, and now they vote Republican to keep people off the scent. And, but they're gay. They're in Ohio. They're just married to women.
They're just deeply, deeply close.
Yeah, with multiple children and a lot of aggression. But good guys.
I mean, yeah.
Some of my closest friends, they're all cops too.
That I like, dude. Even just like going through a talking stage with a new chick, I'm like, this is exhausting. I can't imagine living a double life where it's like,
Dude.
you know what I mean?
The double. I think about that a lot actually, like how it is because we're joking about it, but like I think it's great these kids can be just gay and experiment all that shit because like dude, thousands of years of just repressed gay energy.
Sure.
And Good for them.
Yeah, that's just
honestly, that's probably why we had so many wars.
it could be. Well, back in the day, I know for sure the Romans or the Greeks, they had like
Greeks for sure.
Yeah, they had like little boys that they would bang.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
well,
it was
that's
like
a different thing. That's not a.
Well,
that's gay, but that's also that's a crime as well.
Mentorship?
Sure.
No.
That sounds like leadership to me.
Yeah, the wars probably did start. I think that's why I remember George W. Bush saying like, "We're going into Iraq."
Yeah, exactly.
Those two towers look like giant cocks.
Yeah, exactly. They took away my two biggest dicks. And they didn't even fuck up the thing that looks like the pussy, the Pentagon. And they barely made a dent in
They
that
missed
thing.
it, actually. They couldn't find the clit of it.
I think they only hit it with a missile, too. And they say it was a plane, but I've got footage.
But that is, I mean, if you do think about it, there is probably hundreds of wars that were started over just like two guys fighting over one girl, and they just threw all of their nation's army at them.
100%.
Like, that's literally what I imagine hundreds of wars were.
So they said about Cleopatra. They said she had such a gorilla grip.
I don't know if that's what they.
That's what I swear. They wrote it in
On a
hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
They
put
it
a
was
gorilla in their fist.
They said she had such a gorilla grip that they started wars over. She had
The OGGG.
Yeah, the WAP. That's it. Yeah.
the gorilla.
But she was the first. She did create the vibrator, I believe.
That's real?
That's correct.
That is real.
She had a tube and would put bees in it and then shake it up.
Wait, this is real?
What are you talking about?
That's amazing.
I dated a sex coach.
Yeah, that is a real thing.
That's
That is
awesome.
a real thing.
Yeah. It's
Innovation.
I mean, I respect it. Because that was also a very repressed time. So, like,
Was it?
What,
I mean, with like bee dildos? I don't know.
No, sorry, that was not as okay. That was less repressed than I guess if you think of like, America
depending
in
on
the
if you're
1800s.
a slave or not. If you're in the upper class,
I wasn't
you're
talking about that.
doing
You know,
whatever
what,
you want.
I don't know if it was as. Wait, when was Cleopatra? Was this is BC, right?
It is
Isn't this
BC,
like 4,000 years ago?
I think she was in 1987.
Yeah, right. Right. When was Reagan in office?
Yeah.
But they were also like some of the most intelligent humans that ever lived too.
Absolutely.
So it's crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
January 69 BC. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
To
Only
August 30th BC. So she
69
really
BC.
Yeah.
Freak.
Inventor of the first.
vibrator.
She took a gourd or in some retellings a papyrus box and hollowed it out. She then filled the container with live honeybees, and then she put her own honey on it. If you know what I mean.
Oh my god.
There's so much shit we know about like the history and like why is this what we know? You know what I mean?
Well, like,
I don't.
Like someone made this shit up. Probably,
I don't know if
right?
you read this middle
That's
paragraph.
what I'm saying. And you know what's funny is like this is like probably the first like Mean Girls rumor.
Yeah.
They're like that bitch a hoe. You know what she did to that butternut squash?
Historians describe Cleopatra as a powerful and even dangerously sexual woman. The Greeks called her
Dangerously sexual.
Marichain, which means she who gapes wide for 10,000 men.
What?
This Egyptian seductress was known to have multi-day orgies originally. It was no secret that she and Julius Caesar were unfaithful to each other. So multiple different cultures have names for her. Greek, Romans, Egyptians.
They were like
Marichain, which actually now converts to in Spanish, maricon. He who gapes for 10,000 men.
That's where it came
That's
from.
where it came from. That's the root.
That is tremendous. I believe the Armenian translation is Kardashian.
Oh no! 10,000 basketball players.
That's quite a. Cleopatra does appear to have her fair share of carnal needs. Needs, blah blah.
All right, there's enough on this one.
So I read the Art of
Getting
Seduction.
boned up over here just reading this.
I read the Art of Seduction, and she was in. They had a chapter on Cleopatra in the Art of Seduction.
Did you read the Art of Seduction?
I did, of course. And yeah,
That's crazy. Did you boys read it also?
I think I read like the first chat. It was a Robert Greene book, so the guy who made the 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like it wasn't like the game.
Oh,
it wasn't like a
yeah,
pickup
that's what I was
book.
thinking.
it's
No, it's
not-
not like the
it's
game.
not like
It's
trying
not
to
like
do
the
this.
game.
I
It's
remember I had
honestly-
some homies read the game, and I was like, "This."
We did
this is
read it.
tough.
I did read
We
the
did
game.
read it.
Okay.
It's more of a history
PUA.
of like legendary seducers.
Okay.
And
psychology.
It's more of how the psychology behind how they did that. So it's more like
Okay.
it seems like it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some pussy.
Yeah.
But it's more of like
It's more of like, how am I going to run for office?
it's like what
Yeah,
about
get some
honestly?
pussy
Yeah.
and some of those young boys you're talking about.
It's
Honestly,
like what
yeah.
charm do these people have that made them so attracted to and so dynamic to these people? Because it's like some of them were incredibly ugly,
Yeah.
but somehow they would still pull these beautiful women and
Yeah.
have people crazy. And it was just like the different styles that these people have.
It is remarkable, the law. That is true, because it is the law of attraction. I was just hearing Travis Barker was talking about DJ AM, and he was, if you remember him, he was like one of the, obviously he's passed away since, but like he was overweight, like kind of just a regular looking Jewish overweight dude.
Yeah.
But he got bitches.
Yeah.
And then he lost a bunch of weight and continued to get bitches.
Sure.
But like, just like that captivating thing that is always, it's always interesting to me to see people that have no like physical features where you're like, that's dope, but they just control rooms and shit like that.
That's why we wanted to bring you on today. We wanted to.
It doesn't make any sense that I captivate people.
No, they did. I did read it, and the number one thing they said was just be rich. That was literally it. Yeah.
Really?
They're just like it had. I read 700 pages of all these seduction stuff, and then the last chapter was literally just, or you could just be rich. That was literally it.
But then but pimps got to start broke.
That's true.
It's true.
Like,
And that's like the mentality that they go through. Like
Yeah.
what creates that? And it's interesting enough to kind of like you can't sit through and read the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, every now and then I'll read a chapter and it's fine.
Because some of it is more on the one-on-one controls, more emotional manipulation and shit like that.
Yeah.
But on the masses, it's, I don't know. I'm always captivated by like big church guys, like mega church people. Like
Yes. Yeah.
Joel Osteen is like, you're like, how
Yeah.
does this happen?
Have
And
you-
as comics watching, I'm like, dude, he's kind of killing us.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, he's doing theaters
And he's
doing
pretty,
arenas.
and he's not unfunny.
No.
He's kind of ripping.
I will say though, so like weddings, funerals, churches, those are the easiest places to get laughs.
Yeah. So one of my best sets is my buddy's funeral.
Rip.
Crushed it.
One of my worst sets.
What did you?
we've talked
Did
about
you
it,
bomb one?
I
Sean
bombed a
bombed at my
funeral.
grandpa's
Did you
funeral.
really?
My
Yeah,
grandpa's
that was
funeral.
rough.
Oh,
We've talked about it on here before.
Yeah, he bombed it. He had to resort to fake tears. He
I
had to,
didn't fake cry. I did not fake
fake
cry.
cried.
I did not fake
He was
Oh my
actually
God.
crying, but it was because he bombed.
Yeah, it wasn't about his grandfather's death.
Speaking of crying, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So this has never happened to me before.
Crying.
Yeah, right. No, I was going for a walk yesterday.
Sure.
He's been doing hard 75.
I'm doing a hard 75, so you got to do an outdoor workout.
Oh, I know what you're
yeah,
talking
too.
about.
It's very
And,
annoying.
Yeah.
I was walking and this Carrie Underwood's song came on, and out of nowhere I just started crying. Mm-hmm. That's never ever happened to me in my life.
Is this has it happened to you boys?
No.
So you guys said you're 32. How old are you
31,
guys?
turned 32.
Okay. So
Well, it's crazy because the song was the Sunday Night Football theme song. That was
We have 30 more weeks to go until it's back.
that was the
it
weird
wasn't
part.
two Cadillacs.
It was when Chris Collinsworth chimed in. That's when he
yeah, exactly. You know, Jim. Who is he? Mike.
Mike
The
Tirico.
Dallas
Tirico.
Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles.
First of all, hard vouch for Chris Collinsworth. I think he's great. Cincinnati Bengal.
Bias.
Have you? Yeah, 100%. So this is your first time you've cried from a song?
Yeah. It's never happened to me in my life.
I think so. I'm 37 now, and it's gonna keep happening, buddy.
Really?
Wow.
It's gonna happen to songs you don't even think about.
Yeah.
That's the thing, it
I'm
was-
getting the nod from 39.
Yeah,
Jasmine.
really?
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah. Like I always say, like if I did this on stage for years, but how I'm like I'm at the age where if, in the morning after a hangover, if the right John Mayer song comes on, I'll fucking cry. Like Stop This Train, you know that one?
No.
No.
Let that one fucking hit your soul, bud.
Okay.
There's like just some songs where you're just like, fuck, dude.
And it was so out of no, like I had no idea.
Yeah.
Literally,
were the lyrics hitting you?
the lyrics are good, but I think it was more at the
I
time.
dug my keys into
Honestly, the same things happened to me with I did it all for the nookie. That's what
Yeah, Limp Bizkit gets me.
Well, you just remember what Fred Durst meant to this country. We used to make things in this country. Significant Other really got me through my parents' divorce, actually. Yeah, Break Stuff.
Yeah.
If they only heard that album, they might have stuck together for the children. I was watching Norm Macdonald's last set on David Letterman. If you remember,
yeah.
he did the
Oh, yeah.
last.
Tearing up?
Dude, Yeah, I cried yesterday before dinner.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's like I'm just like, God damn.
What a bitch.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna keep hitting you boys.
And that was the thing. I didn't even want to tell him because, like, I mean, I think the last time any of us has cried was our grandpa's funeral.
No, I think you've probably cried before that. I think
Are you the more emotional one?
No, it's usually
Not
me.
really. It's
Really?
usually Mitch.
I was
But
thinking
yeah,
that
it just
Mitchell's
hit
cried
me.
since then.
Out of
I know.
nowhere.
There's a
Okay.
night where he did.
Yeah.
I had
he
a
did.
drunken meltdown one night.
Dude, I'll cry. Dude, watch the first 10 minutes of Up. I'll cry right now. You know what I'm saying? You guys aren't crying on that? Like, what's
No,
going
we're
on?
not- we're not
All
big
dogs go to heaven? You kidding me?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know.
I will say
we come from a very repressed Italian household.
No, I disagree.
No?
I
don't
really,
think so.
I really,
The post hangover will get me because I think I'm in like a self reflective state
Yeah.
when I'm hungover, and I don't usually have that when I'm like just like throughout the day.
But I will say, there was like a stretch of like 10 years in my life. I remember thinking about how I hadn't cried in like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
And then now
it's called your 20s.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is because I had my best friend died when I was 21. A lot of tears that year or whatever. And then sometimes you do cry just thinking about that enough. But like there was like a stretch where I like no tears, and then you guys are they're building up. They're accumulating. They're right here.
They hit
They're
out
ready
of
to go.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, I will say
It
something
won't
like,
even make sense.
something like that. Also, like I think something that extreme, you know,
Yeah.
very tragic.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like okay, you almost start to appreciate life more. Where it's like,
Sure.
we had two of our grandparents die like back to back, and it was sad. And then like the next two, I didn't cry as much because I'm like, you know what, I'm just happy I had more time with them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
perspective changes.
So you have a little more perspective. It's
And
not
appreciation,
as
yeah.
like sad or tragic as it was.
Yeah, but tears, dude, let them hit, dude.
Yeah.
You'll cry at weird shit, dude.
yeah.
It won't even make sense.
Bigger question, Jeffy. I can't believe you cried.
Yeah.
This looks like a man that's comfortable with his emotions.
No.
Yeah, dude.
well, yeah,
I have
no.
emotions, bro.
Yeah. Fucking, wouldn't
I
you
mean-
cry at the last Wolverine when Hugh Jackman died?
Yeah.
First of all, I'll admit to crying during that film also.
It was a great movie.
Logan
It was
did?
a great movie.
Yeah, you guys didn't cry at the end of Logan.
Logan
You
was
kidding
one
me,
of the
bro?
best.
Did he not mean anything to you in your youth?
He was one of the best. That was one of the best superhero movies. What was the last thing you cried at, Jeff? I
Uh,
lost in Fortnite, and you know.
no, I'm trying to think. What was the last thing? I mean, I went through a pretty tough breakup like a while ago.
That'll
yeah.
get you.
Yeah.
That will get you.
Tough breakups suck, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
TBs, dude, TBUs. The weird things that you sometimes like now, we're like, you know, whatever, we're like 15 years into the Marvel universe. This last Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, dude, are they going to make me emotional about this fucking raccoon? And they did.
Yeah, I
And-
saw that. They did a good job.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
That's what I hate. I'm like, or like the last. I remember the last Planet of the Apes. You're like, dude, am I emotionally drawn into these monkeys? And yeah, I was.
Well, that's just a primal. You know, we're connected to them. So
To
that's,
the monkeys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're that's us.
That's
We're
what they
looking at
tried.
us.
That's what they tried to do in Avatar too. I'm like, I'm not crying to these blue motherfuckers. It's like I spent fucking 4 years saying blue lives don't matter.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to make me say blue lives matter. What the fuck is going on, Avatar 2?
It's really just a reverse psychology on that. That's
really
how they,
is.
That's how they get you. It's
Yeah.
a long game.
It's big theater.
Do you have sisters?
I have one sister and one brother.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
You're middle, I'm assuming.
I'm actually youngest.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So and then 2 years apart each of them.
So your Uncle Mike, do they have kids?
No.
No kids?
No.
None of them?
None of them. Yeah.
Your entire family?
I know. So my sister actually did have. She gave up a child for open adoption.
Okay.
So we do. It's actually an interesting relationship, but I don't consider myself uncle to the
Uncle,
kid.
yeah.
But it is like a situation where we know the kid, which is it's kind of an interesting situation, but I love it.
Yeah,
It's cool,
like
but
you're
it's not
still
like a
involved
formal.
in life.
Yeah,
Kind of.
to a degree,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
like,
enough.
There's a relationship, but it's like, yeah.
It's a distant one. That's our cousin's got a couple kids now. None of us. We have an older brother, and none of us are even remotely close.
Oh,
to
there's
having
another
kids.
one of y'all.
Older
There you
brother,
go.
yeah.
1
And
year older.
none of us remotely close to having kids, but like kids would be the one thing I could see getting you to like cry or like that's where I would
Or Carrie Underwood.
Or Carrie
Carrie
Underwood.
Underwood.
Yeah. Will that be like happy tears too?
Yeah,
happy tears are crazy.
Yeah.
That's the only. I think Pursuit of Happiness. At the end of Pursuit of Happiness, definitely. Yeah, dude. When he clapped, I'm like,
Kid
"Fuck,
Cudi song.
there.
or-
Let's fucking go, Will.
I don't think I saw that movie.
Oh.
Did you say King Face on?
I said the King Cudi song.
No.
King Cudi, Kid Cudi.
Oh, wow, it's a kid. Jesus
uh,
Christ.
no.
Will
Oh, no,
Smith.
no. It's
No,
a
I know
movie.
the movie. I know the movie.
That is a Kid Cudi song.
It
though.
is, yeah.
yeah, and a good one.
It is a good one. It's probably his best song.
Yeah, it dropped the record dropped on Project X for that one.
Yes, it did.
It really changed
I think
the
we were
film.
in college.
One of the
we-
girls from our high school showed her tits in that movie.
Good for her. Were
Yeah.
they good
Well,
rack?
It was Stella Bag.
Oh,
Stella
nice.
Bag.
Very
I don't know
solid.
how. Was she in our grade?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was.
Wow,
Was she-
how did I not
Was she
fucking...
of age when she showed her
Yes,
rack?
I was going to say high school, and I'm like, she was 18 or 19.
Definitely
Okay,
college.
good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
She was 19, I think.
Which isn't that weird? You go back and see her 19-year-old tits,
Yeah.
and you're just older now. You're like, this is weird.
Steve
But also
Valley had
kinda
a-
neat.
Is
Steve Valley had a couple.
Does he 19-year-old tits? I don't think so.
I mean,
He's 37.
I
That's almost half his
think
age.
I don't like anything under like 25 to me.
I'd agree with that.
You give me a-
I couldn't-
but I know it's not illegal. But I'm just saying,
I couldn't. I would have nothing to like talk about.
they haven't even seen Jurassic Park.
You
Think about
talk
that.
to women? What are you
Talk to
talking about?
women. What are we talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
You grunt at them.
Yeah.
My girlfriend now is 27 actually, which is
Respect.
you know what I'm saying?
Respect.
Let's go.
Nice.
But no, sometimes I get mad at her like she did. She never saw Jurassic Park, and I'm like, I should fucking end it. But then I flipped it. And I'm like, I get to watch
You get
Jurassic
to
Park
watch it
now.
together.
And I'm like, let's run it.
You get to see the joy in somebody's face when they first open. They first go into Jurassic Park.
Or you just see this person that's underward and like, so
Yeah.
this was the movie.
It's usually that,
I was
right?
like, do you understand what Spielberg was doing? It's crazy. Yeah. She hadn't seen Pulp Fiction. Luckily, that one actually held up
movie.
for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction
Because
was
that's just a movie that is always pretty.
was
With
gonna
the
say,
first watch, you're like, this is
all
crazy.
of Tarantino's movies hold up still.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think she wasn't sold on Jackie Brown, but some of them are more slow burn.
That's
Jackie
a
Brown was
slow
slow
burn,
burn.
Yeah, but I do love all. Yeah, I'm a big Tarantino guy. Don't get me started.
Tarantino's great. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. No, I feel like Dating Younger's fine.
No, yeah, there's just things that to the initial point, like there's things that she doesn't know that I used to be like, this is fucked up. How do you not know these things? But then
Yes.
it's like, of course you don't know these things.
Yeah.
I get to introduce you to these things,
Yeah.
and then you get to judge me based on how lame they are now.
Well, there's like a pop culture disconnect because it's like, okay, for us growing up, it was like movies and videos were
Yeah.
still very, very popular. So like everybody
Yes.
would see the same shit.
Right.
And then when the internet started becoming really popular, it's like, okay, it got divided into all different types of interests and different activities.
Yeah.
And really the only thing that bonded everybody that everybody saw was Two Girls, One Cup. That was the only thing that everybody saw.
Well, that's like the first introduction to what you're talking about, though. Now there's these videos that are viral that's like, you've seen this, and now they're just omnipresent within our culture. Whereas
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in the day, it was like, you haven't seen Fight Club?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
everybody owned Fight Club
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore or like whatever it was, right? Dodgeball. We all just saw these movies.
Yes, Dodgeball's
and right, like it's like kind of like even random movies. You're like everybody had consumed it and everybody had an opinion on it. Everybody's seen Requiem for a Dream one time. Nobody's seen it twice. But like,
But now they're like consuming like Twitch streamers.
Well,
and
there's
shit.
so much to consume. Too. Like you guys, both you had viral clips like that.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like, oh yeah, of course I've seen it, whatever. But it's like there's so much to see now. Where
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like drop of
oh,
the ocean.
yeah.
Some people
I
got
know.
an early Trevor Wallace. No,
well, yeah, everybody's like, it's funny when people see me, they're like, oh, you had it was this, my viral one this year was the teenage chick saying she loves big black linebackers. And
Oh, I did
Yes.
see that one.
yes,
That was wild.
and now it's getting reshared a bunch of times. Now people are like,
that
oh,
was,
you
was
that
that was a
dude?
couple. Was that at the?
It was like 5 months ago. It was at the Cardinals
Yeah.
tailgate.
Okay.
yeah, that one got shared a lot.
And
recently.
but now people are like, oh, you're that guy. Oh, did you have that? And it's like omnipresent in the thing. This is crazy.
The one of you in the black room that you posted the other day, doing the all black room.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. the other
Thank
day.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, I did.
And the one like the one
The
white
one
dude,
white, yeah. I was like, why'd they put him up front? I
Yeah.
got to talk to my guy. I've been being the white dude on some black shows lately. So
That's
it's nice.
honestly
Nice.
that's how you know you're funny.
I appreciate that.
That's how you know you're funny.
Yeah,
If
I
you've-
don't think it's for everybody, and that is always a fun thing. But yeah, that was a good clip. Yeah, clip game. People just consume it.
It's literally just throwing clips out there, and then hopefully it takes off, or some might go back later, and you got another chance at it later. But
clips
it's-
we're the new Tarantino films.
yes.
My
the
clip is
shittiest-
Fight Club.
Yeah, and the shittiest. Hey, do you like big black cock? I love big
Yeah,
black.
exactly. The big gotcha moment.
Yeah, that's the new clip. No, there's one. There's a streamer, or not a streamer. I think he streams, but on TikTok
this guy's clips will pop up and he listens to music for the first time.
Oh yeah,
The black guy.
Yeah,
I've
I've seen that.
He's a younger dude, but he just I don't think he just ever grew up with any sort of.
I remember watching
older
that and I was
music?
like, this is actually weird to me that you haven't consumed any of this music by
Yeah, I
accident.
do find
Yes.
that out as well. Yeah,
But I don't know.
there's a chance he
The
has.
habit. Some
I
people
don't
are
want
just
to call him a
sheltered like
liar.
that. Yeah, some people
and
are just sheltered.
Also, there's an argument that you might have heard it in an elevator or something like that.
Yeah.
Or an H&M.
In passing.
But you haven't consumed it.
Actually listen to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, there's a different depth to listening to John Mayer.
Yeah. Alone in a
listening or
room.
hearing. Yeah. After
Scrolling through your ex's Facebook page from 2009.
Well, I mean, at least for us, like our mom was trying to restrict us on a lot of that stuff too.
Oh, really?
Like my mom wouldn't even let me get a Green Day CD because it had the parental advisory on
which
it.
I stand
Really?
by. I hope mom never. She should have never let you got a Green Day CD. They
Which Green
suck.
Day? What, the American,
American
Idiot?
Idiot.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. That's good parenting.
Yeah.
Dookie, though. That's good shit.
I didn't think it.
I didn't like Dookie that much.
We're
Really?
not,
Yeah,
we're
so
not
Dookie-
Green Day fans.
Yes,
on this side.
go revisit Dookie. That's a
Nah.
fucking amazing
I'm
album.
good. I don't
But-
like the grungy.
Well, same
really?
thing, same thing with
Linkin
the
Park.
Eminem show. My brother had to get that from his friend, and he would sneak it. Our older brother had to sneak it into his room. My mom would let
Really?
him buy it.
Yeah, and then my
So
brother
like she was trying to restrict all that. We couldn't play video games with blood in it. Like we weren't allowed to play GoldenEye.
That's amazing.
She didn't even want us to play Super Smash
Sounds
Brothers.
like you had
growing
a
up.
present mother.
She was
My
very
mom was
present,
working
yes.
6 days a week. They were divorced. My dad was like, "Fucking, here's this DMX album." I was like, "Let's go."
That's
Yeah, it's dark and hell is hot. He's like,
But,
"He seems good."
yeah.
we met DMX one time at an airport.
What?
This is probably a year before he passed. And he was Mitchell. Never seen him fangirl more in his life.
I love
He's
DMX.
He bought 10 pairs of shoes at the airport and was delaying his flight.
Trying
Was
to
holding up
stuff
the
them in the
entire
bag.
plane, trying to stuff his shoes and boxes into a
Classic
bag.
Dark
It was
Man X.
hilarious.
Earl Simmons.
And then I just went up to him like, "Hey, just Mr. X, really big fan." He's like,
Mr.
"Oh."
X.
He's like, "Oh, thanks, though."
I heard he was pretty personable in person.
He was very nice.
Yeah,
He was
I've
very
heard this
nice.
actually. So in Phoenix, First of all, I saw him in Phoenix with Trevor Wallace, you just mentioned. We saw one of his last performances. He was doing the 20-year anniversary of It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Oh, hell
and I had some ins with some connections in Phoenix, so we went and watched him. And at the end, first of all, he didn't end with an encore song. He just did a prayer, and I was like, classic DMX. And then in the middle, he spent 10 minutes just naming the prisons that he was in Arizona. And it took, like, no lie, might not have been 10, but it was like a 5-minute, like, I was at this prison, this prison, this prison. But he's got like folklore stories about him doing like really cool things for the community in Phoenix. You'd see him at a gas station, and he'd do this or that. I fucking love DMX. But that was one of my first albums, and unedited. But yeah, divorced parents, like they divorced when I was 9, right? So then it was like, then you're just like, your dad might have even bought this just to piss my mom off type shit.
Or to make make him seem like the cool parent.
And or he honestly, he just didn't care. I went and saw, we were big movie guys. Every weekend we'd see a movie or two at least. And like he brought me into He Got Game as a 10-year-old. And the dude at the front of the thing was like, "Are you sure you want your son to see it?" And he was like, I mean, where am I going to go with him? He's coming to this fucking Spike Lee joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's watching Mila Jovovich fuck Denzel Washington right now. But, so yeah, I was consuming a lot of, I was the opposite of that.
Nice.
Well, see, I think because my mom sheltered us, we ended up overshooting. Because as soon as my brother discovered LimeWire, he downloaded everything he could.
Really?
Yeah, my brother overshot it, and he's almost like a rap savant now.
He is.
Where he knows just like every random rapper, and he's like super.
I'm a
ahead.
deep hip hop guy myself too. But I did it, yeah, I just would go record digging in Cincinnati at Everybody Record.
Who's the one guy he likes that he thinks with KS, whatever?
KRS-One?
Yeah.
Karis One is he loves Tech Nine.
Technina, dude.
Yeah, Tech Nina.
That's amazing.
He likes a lot of the underground.
I actually, I've met Tech Nine. He was
Oh,
cool.
really?
Speaking of cool people to
He
interview,
seems
he
like
was
a good
actually
dude.
really cool. And he was on a red carpet last year at the Super Bowl in Phoenix, and nobody knew who he was. And I was like, I know these white people don't know who you are, but I'm a big fan.
yeah.
He was cool as hell.
Nice.
That's like, so he likes like lyrically conscious people. He probably likes J. Cole.
I don't think he does. He doesn't like a lot of the newer stuff.
I like that he doesn't.
Yeah. He doesn't like
No,
a lot
I
of the
actually
new
like
stuff.
J. Cole, but it's funny sometimes. People are like, he's the GOAT. And I'm like, I've actually heard all of these raps in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was called underground hip hop.
He has been more of a British rap recently.
Yeah.
He likes
That's
British
good.
rap.
That's
Yeah.
the wave. He
Yeah.
probably like Little Sims, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know everybody, but he'll go down some really weird deep dives, and then he'll just get in his car, and it's like, oh, we're listening to British rap now.
There's some good British rap.
It also doesn't. He has like a photogenic memory. He'll bring up shit from our childhood, like just out of nowhere. So like he can remember and knows all these names, all these songs,
wow.
all these rappers.
Probably
so
got
it's
some
like,
tism.
Yeah.
Probably a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little tism hit
a
him.
little bit, but. Yeah, like I'm just like, yeah, I like fucking Carrie Underwood.
And I'll cry right now.
And I'll cry right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's deep on it. But I
like
think
that.
it was literally just because my mom said we couldn't do it, and we've always been very much like, if someone says not to do it, we're very much like, watch us do it all together now. We're
Yeah.
all gonna fucking do it. So
4 boys, I can't even imagine.
4 boys, 15 months.
yeah, my mom. Yeah, they
Yeah.
Pray for your mom.
Yeah, she's a sweet lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Well, you know,
She's been waiting for us to give her grandkids for quite some time, and that's just not. That is not.
both
none
of
of
my
you.
parents are now in the waiting period, and they're just like, all right,
They're
well,
in the
Any of
purgatory.
you guys in a committed relationship?
not right now.
Negative.
That's amazing.
I'm open to it. It just like I fucking hate online dating. So I'm like, I was on Hinge for a bit, and I just like, it's just dumb as fuck.
No, face to face. We're all
We're all
personable
better.
enough where you can meet somebody face to
Yes,
face.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
actually the unique advantage we have over most of society and what we do. You should be able to meet people face to
Yeah.
face.
Just planning on getting once you elevate to that next level, you know, like, oh, we're super famous, whatever now.
evolve.
And then they come to you.
And then come to me, or just like, I'll just get like some rich biatch,
true.
you know?
That's
Sure.
what Dan Bilzerian's
That's
book
the-
says.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the setup.
That's so romantic. She'll flashback to this moment. You were looking for your rich biatch.
Yeah,
Well, I'm here.
I read the last chapter of The Art of Seduction. It says be rich. So I'm just doing that.
That's the plan.
Have wealth. Generational wealth really helps.
I mean,
It is interesting though. If you have,
I did blow
nowadays, if you do have like just like one clip that goes viral or something,
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of it can be life changing, but it's like, oh, you're not doing anything different than what you were doing. It's just literally that one clip, and now people fuck with your shit.
Yeah.
It's like that one clip can actually get you a bunch of pussy.
you hear
Yeah.
that Matt Rife? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
He was getting pussy prior to that. I
You
guarantee
might have gotten secondhand pussy from Matt Rife off that one
I
clip.
got some trickle down pussy. The trickle down economics of Matt Rife. Yeah, I get, there was some good stuff. That clip was definitely something that people people knew me at the Bengals tailgates. That's what I did. I went to all the Bengals games this past year, and
Nice.
people stared to know me. But I'm in a good committed relationship, so that's a nice thing. That
great.
I'm actually, because when I was single and doing it, you're right. Like you get some randos though, dude. I don't know. I'm not a big. It's fun and it's exhilarating sometimes, but you're just like, I would rather know you on some level.
The,
Yeah, I
the
need
randos is when you're younger, you can do it, but like I would rather
Yeah.
have consistency than like a bunch of like I don't want a bunch of different randos or anything. Give me some consistency, but
Yes,
like
because every woman is crazy, and the randos that come up to you are actually, there's a level of crazy that inherently the fact that they just like you because of this one thing makes me feel uneasy about it anyways. Like,
That's
do you
how I
like
feel.
me because of a 45-second clip where a teenage girl talked about big black guys?
Yeah.
well, no,
Well,
I think
I'm Mike.
I think there's I think the fact that it's like to us it's like, oh, it's just one clip, but it's like no. People will spend time just
Fair.
diving through all of your stuff, and it's like, oh, I know this person,
Yeah.
so they feel way more comfortable. But to you, it's like, who are you?
I like that my girl that I have now, actually, when we met, didn't even know I did stand-up.
Oh, it's
That's
I love
good.
that.
It's a blessing
Because
and a
I
curse.
actually hate well, I think it's a blessing more so than anything, because now she knows what we do, whatever. Obviously, she loves me for more than that, but also that. But like somebody that sees you kill on stage and then comes up to you, sees you in a way that is like, you're just like, I don't know. I hate it. I didn't actually realize I hate it until the past few years, but you're just
That's the perk of doing it, though.
it is. And then it's also, if that's the person that's not the person you want to lock in, though.
Oh no, you want
Right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's the passive pussy.
Yes, that's it. You want someone that believes in you before all that, and then it's like, oh, that you saw my potential prior to,
Yes.
me just fucking clobbering that, clobbering that place. But but that also is like, that is like being able to peak at that level is very cool, and not
Yeah.
everybody gets to experience it.
No.
It's a weird.
Well, there are also some people that just don't hook up with lack of fans, quote unquote.
Which,
You know.
God bless them.
I mean,
Talk about self-control.
that is a very difficult.
No,
thing
it's
to do.
impressive. I was like, I know we brought up Matt Rife. I've been with him on a weekend where I'm like, you're not doing anything after the show.
Yeah, that's
He's a very disciplined dude.
That's good.
I believe it.
It is impressive. Sometimes you're like, damn. And then you work a weekend with somebody that is like literally their hour is talking about them being in a happy monogamous relationship, and then they're out there fucking, and you're like, yo, bro, what?
But like who, Joe? Just name it. No.
Yeah, right. Just name names.
I feel like with Matt, that guy just gets a tidal wave of it. So it's like he just gets pussy. Just
Yeah.
he could. The fact that it's so like in his face is probably like, all right, I want the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Numb to it.
Yeah.
There's we were on a TikTok live and the MILF that went viral from his one of his clips.
Right.
She started following us from the live we were on. We talked to her on the live.
She got a good following now.
oh yeah,
She
she
has like 80,000 followers.
She's got an OF and everything.
That's the trickle down economics of Matt
truly,
Rife.
truly.
Well,
It's
and also
crazy.
you're hot too. She
Yeah.
is a milf.
Is
for
she?
sure.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah,
Hell
definitely.
yeah.
She's pretty hot.
I need what's her IG? No.
But she also capitalized on it, where she's like, "Okay, OnlyFans right afterwards." That's the best thing
Really?
about this time. Yeah,
I
you
support
just Get in, get out, real quick.
Yeah, that's
It is an odd time.
Very
It's-
odd
it's,
time,
Well,
dude.
it's a just different time than we've ever lived. And we got to
100%.
figure out.
100%.
And there's different advantages that we've never had. We just got to capitalize on them.
yep.
So,
Michael,
annoying.
that's it. That was the time, bro.
appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming on.
coming,
If you
bro.
want to plug dates or anything, socials, plug them.
Yeah, so I'll be in San Diego in March 16th. I got Indianapolis March 29th and 30th, and then St. Louis April 5th and 6th. So doing a little Midwest thing there.
Nice.
So pull up at Turner Comedy on all socials. So hit me there, and I got all the links you need.
Sweet. Yeah, follow him on social media. Jeffy Z.
I don't have my dates in front of me, but they are at Jeff Zinasek. Check out my Instagram. I'm going to be updating my tour schedule on there soon, so check that out.
Yeah, it'd be nice if someone just did all that work. It would really just have everything constantly updated. That's the dream. We will be in Minneapolis. This comes out the 6th, so we'll be in Minneapolis
Right now.
the 8th and the 9th. We got and we'll be filming something out there that we'll put out probably towards the summer. We'll see how long it takes to edit.
Maybe on the birthday.
Possibly taping a special. We'll see. I don't know. Whatever you call it. And then we'll be in Arizona, April. We'll be in Prescott,
18th, 19th,
Cottonwood,
and
and
20th.
Flagstaff.
Prescott.
Excuse
Sorry.
me.
Come on now.
The 18th to 20th will be out there, and I can't remember the rest of them, but obviously follow some Virzi Triplets. Please follow Turner Comedy and Jeff Zinazek over there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Mike, thanks for coming on, bro. Jeff, thanks as always. Later.
Hell yeah, boys.
Dude, thank you so much for
That was fun, yeah.